Fulham 2, and Arsenal dropped 2 points at the Emirates. I'm just so disappointed in that. So disappointed, man. Like, obviously, to start the game, it was mistake central, conceding after just 1 minute. And to fight so hard and so persistent to get back into the football match, then for the opposition to go down to 10 men and you still find a way to concede, I mean, it's just a catalogue of errors. This is a team that had aspirations of winning the league title this season. Make no mistake about it, we still can go on to win the Premier League. But if we play anything like this, we aren't winning no Premier Leagues, man. Because that was error central. You can't expect to win a Premier League making errors like that. This wasn't Fulham having an absolute wonderful masterstroke performance where they were unbelievable, cut us open like Swiss cheese. Nothing to do with that whatsoever. We just made catastrophic errors. Catastrophic, bad errors, man. To the extent that these are errors you should never be making. Like, first minute, Saka, what is he doing? Giving the ball away. Like, that is something you do on the training ground every day. You try and do the same thing. Pass and move, pass and move. Minute 1, bang. Gives it straight to Andreas Pereira, puts into the back of net. We've conceded so many goals off the bat. Same thing happened against Southampton last season at home. Same thing happened against Bournemouth last season at home. Why do we make these silly mistakes so early in the game? But that's not it. Let's fast forward a little bit. We obviously make it 2-1, brilliant. They get down to 10 men, brilliant. Then we take our foot off the gas. For the past 85 minutes, it was all Arsenal. We make it 2-1. Then suddenly it's all Fulham. It makes no sense. And then in midfield, Zinchenko, who slots in there as an inverted fullback, giving the ball away to Adama Traore. He gets a corner, and lo and behold, you're not marking from a corner. You're defending against 10 men, and João Palinha scores, and it's 2-2, and you can't get out of it. And we drop points. We drop 2 points. And that is so disappointing, man. So disappointing, because you work so hard to get back into the football match. But once again, like I said during the match as well, even if Arsenal do win this game, it's poor. Why? Because it's too frantic too early in the season. This is match week 3, guys, and we're already trying to get last-minute winners. What's that all about? This should be stuff you do in March and April. You shouldn't be looking for last-minute frantic winners at this stage of the season. Those of you that watched my preview for Arsenal versus Fulham, I said, look, Arsenal won their first 2 games, brilliant. But against Fulham today, I want Arsenal to get a really convincing win to the point where it's not nervy last 10 minutes. Instead, it was very nervous the last 10 minutes. We obviously 2-1 up. I'm thinking, okay, cool. Game over at 2-1. But no, they go down to 10 men. At that point, I'm thinking, okay, perfect. Down to 10 men. We've got the lead. Just pass the ball to the end. But no, once again, a lack of concentration. It's childish stuff. Genuinely, it's childish stuff. It's so complacent. The team just thinking they've got it in the bag every time. And lo and behold, look what happens. Reality check. You should not be losing these type of games at home if you want to win the Premier League. If you want to win the Premier League title, you do not drop points to Fulham at home. I don't care. I know it's a draw, but it feels like a loss. If you want to win the Premier League title, draws are losses at home. Prove me wrong. And once again today, Arsenal drop points. We had the chance to go above Tottenham and go to the top of the Premier League table, but instead we don't. We go into second place because we drop points to Fulham. Now, like I said, credit to the team for getting back in the game at 1-0 down, because it was a terrible error from Bukayo Saka. And obviously, Ramsdale's position was absolutely car crash criminal. We got back into the game. We kept the persistence. We kept the resilience. We kept the attacks. We eventually got back into the game through Fabio Vieira, who I thought was absolutely fantastic off the bench, by the way. There's a lot to review in this game, but I thought Fabio Vieira off the bench was fantastic. Completely changed the game. What Havertz did in 65 minutes, Fabio Vieira did much better in 5. Because the problem with Havertz is, right, and I knew the same thing at Chelsea, because I berated this guy when he was at Chelsea, because I know what he's like. We bring him to Arsenal, he's exactly the same. The brother just lacks intensity. He's got absolutely no cutting edge to his game. He's not fast, he's not quick, he's not running ever. He's just sleepwalking. Everything is slow with him. You can't expect to get any sort of intense attacks with Kai Havertz in your team. That's not in his dictionary. He's not synonymous with that. The brother's slow. When Fabio Vieira came on the pitch, credit to him, because he actually brought some intensity. He was making runs in behind. He was shifting his body. He was putting balls in the box. He was creating chances. Both goals came from Vieira. So I'll give him an absolute big thumbs up for that one, Fabio Vieira. And it just goes to show that Kai Havertz cannot get into the team for Arsenal. If we want to have aspirations of competing for the Premier League title, we cannot have Kai Havertz in this football team. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. Trossard up front. I've been calling for Trossard to play, but he was not good enough today. Every time the ball came to him, it bounced off him. Nketiah came on the pitch and he actually offered some kind of focal point up front for us to get chances and play off. Saka was okay. Martinelli was okay. Ødegaard I thought was good, but as soon as you took him off the pitch, Look what happens. We concede, and then our best players off the pitch. Do you get, like, there's something wrong with this. You don't need to sub off Ødegaard in that position. I understand bringing Jorginho on the pitch. I get it. But you shouldn't take off Ødegaard because the game's still in the balance. At 2-1, you don't take off your captain and your most creative footballer. At 3-1, fair. That makes complete sense. But if I'm Arteta right here, right, it's 2-1. They're down to 10 men. I push for the third goal. Then I take off Ødegaard. Then I take off Saka. Because at 3-1, when they're down to 10 men, the game's done and dusted. Even if they make it 3-2, you doubt they're going to go to 3-3. They got it's the turkey stuffed out of them, as they say. You knock the stuffing out of them. That's the phrase I'm thinking of. But you're taking off Ødegaard when the game's still in the balance. The game is not over at 2-1. Never, ever is it over. Because we are not confident enough to come away with a victory being only 2-1 up. That's not how it works at Arsenal Football Club. We cannot grind out results on a consistent basis. For all the plaudits I gave this Arsenal team against Crystal Palace on Monday, we've thrown it away today. And this is easier to defend. At Crystal Palace, we had 10 men. We were away from home. And we still managed to grind out. Today, we had 11 men and they had 10. We were at home and we still didn't win the game. How does that make any sense? It's like, I want this Arsenal team to win the Premier League, right? I genuinely do. But this is a big, big wake-up call. Big wake-up call, guys. Because already in our first 3 games, right, we've dropped points against Fulham at home, which is unacceptable in my opinion. Unacceptable. And also, in all 3 games, every game's been tight. There's not been a single game out of those first 3 where we've run away with the victory and it's been locked up by the 70th minute. Every single game is going right to the death. And that's not sustainable. It's not healthy. It's not healthy to keep being in frantic frenzies towards the end of the match. Because this is match week 3. And I'm already got headaches. I'm already stressing from watching my football team. Like, I've got to watch this team until May. There's 38 games of this Premier League season. And I'm already stressed after 3 matches. This can't be healthy. Like, any team that wants to win the Premier League title, right? They start in like a good pace where they get nice, consistent victories. They're moving forward. Then when it gets to March, April is when they have to start grinding out victories. You don't start doing it. Man City don't start getting last-minute winners in August, September. That's not what they do. But they get their last-minute winners in March, April, May when it matters most. But for Arsenal, we seem to be a little bit it's too frantic too early in the season, in my opinion. A lot needs to change. All right, before I get into your comments, by the way, and keep leaving your comments in live chat because I'm going to go through them in just a second. Let's talk about that starting lineup. Those of you that watched the preview on my channel, exclusive for channel members, you would know that I wanted the Arsenal starting 11 to be Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinchenko. Why does Arteta not rate Gabriel? I said in that preview, if Gabriel does not start today, Arteta does not rate Gabriel. And look what's happened. You might as well sell him to Saudi Arabia because you're not playing the man. What has Gabriel got to do to start? Why is he not in the team? Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko was the best back 5 we had last season, including the goalkeeper. But this season, he refuses to play it. I don't get it. Mikel Arteta's got the Pep overthinking gene without the trophies to back it up. What are you doing for this rotation? Kivior's playing. I don't think Kivior was awful today, but why is he playing in the team? Why is Partey still at right back? As soon as Partey came off the pitch and Ben White actually went to right back, we took the lead and we went 2-1 up. Kai Havertz starting again. As soon as he came off the pitch, we went 2-1 up. Trossard up front. I've been calling for him to play, but this is not the game for Trossard. Trossard is not going to play in a game like this where you got physical strikers up there, physical defenders up there. You need Trossard to play in a game where it's a bit more fluid and it's a bit more of a transitional game. We needed a focal point up there, and Trossard was not that. The ball was not sticking to his feet. I think that was an awful lot of Arteta's team selection today. Awful lot wrong. I think he needs to look at himself in the mirror and go, this isn't good enough from my part, because you could not drop points to Fulham at home. This is not good enough. It's not good enough at 1-0 down after 1 minute, because that was a car crash goal to concede. It's definitely not good enough at 2-1 up when they've got 10 men. At 2-1 up and that team's got 10 men, this game should be over. It should be over, done and dusted. Man City do not lose this game after going 1-0 down to 2-1 up. Any competent team does not lose this game. Manchester United were 2-0 down to Nottingham Forest and won 3-2 when Forest went down to 10 men. That is a harder hole to get out of. They were 2-0 down and they managed to win 3-2. We were only 1-0 down and we've drawn 2-2. Explain it. Explain it. That is absolutely terrible from Arsenal, man. I'm so disappointed. Look, we can still win this Premier League, but for me, this is a massive wake-up call. And for the Man Cities out there, for even the Tottenham Hotspurs, I don't think Tottenham are going to win the Premier League, but Tottenham have looked more assured in their first few games than Arsenal. Who would have thought that would happen? Who would have thought brand new manager, Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham, their team looks more settled and more sustainable and more controlling than a Mikel Arteta Arsenal team that almost won the title last season? Explain it, because for me, it makes no sense. We've got a lot to change at this football club if we want to go anywhere near fighting for a Premier League title, man. Anywhere near. Because results like this are not good enough. Next week's Manchester United, we have to win that football match. We have to win it. And the problem is, because when you face teams like Man City for the Premier League, the bar is so high that you can't drop points in games like this. You can't drop points to teams like Fulham. You can't drop points to any team other than Man City, to be honest. And even then, you're going to struggle, because teams like Man City can easily hit 90 points a Premier League season. Last year was our best Premier League season in my lifetime, and we only got 84 points. Liverpool have lost the Premier League title, getting 97 points. And we lost the Premier League title in our best ever season on only 84 points. There was a 13-point gap between Arsenal losing the title and Liverpool losing the title to Man City. So we know this Man City team's capable of getting 90 plus. We need to reach that benchmark for us to win the title. And we will not get there drawing to teams like Fulham. We will not get there not being able to beat teams that are down to 10 men against us. We will not get there conceding goals after 1 minute with stupid errors, just like last season. That's not how you're going to win the Premier League title. Man City do not make these errors, but we are making them. We've got a lot to change around this football club. Obviously, it's only 3 games down and anything can happen. Of course, Man City last season drew to Everton at home and they still went on to win the league title. So it's not doom and gloom, but it is a massive, massive wake-up call. And another thing that really worried me as well is last season, we had luck on our side. Now, don't do that, believe in luck, don't believe in luck. It's a concept that obviously has got mixed opinion. I do believe luck does exist. I don't believe that you make your own luck. I don't think it's just you get gifted some kind of luck out of nowhere. I do believe you make your own luck. But it also does come with an element of just pure chance. Last season, we got very lucky in certain games where last minute we would find winners. Against Fulham last season, we found a way to win that game 2-1. Gabriel winner. Against Bournemouth, we found a way to win it with Reece Nelson last second. Against Aston Villa, same with the Jorginho shot of Emi Martinez for an own goal. We found ways to get last minute goals last season. Even against Southampton, 3-1 down, we made it 3-3. This season, when you're asked to score a last-minute goal, 9 minutes lobbed on, I think we win this game last season. But this year, the luck has run out, it seems, because we could not put that ball in the back of the net. Last season, we win this game. I genuinely do believe so. But this season, the luck's run out, bro. It's dried up. We ain't going to get those wins anymore. And it's really sad to see. Look, let me know your thoughts on live chat on Mikel Arteta. Let me know your thoughts on the team that was selected, where you think Arsenal go from here. I still think we're obviously in the title challenge. You can't say we aren't because we've only dropped points in 1 game so far. But it is a very bad sign to drop points to Fulham at home. And there's a lot of bad signs around this football club. You can win games and you can lose games, fine. But early in the season, I'm looking at the signs that I see from this team. I'm looking at the performance. I'm looking at certain factors, and they have very much worried me today. What has worried me? 1, conceding chances, stupid chances as well. Mistakes early in the game. That was last season's scoreboard stuff. I thought we'd cut that out this season. Stupid mistakes early in the football match, giving away the ball. Both goals conceded were off mistakes. It was Saka on the first one with a stupid wayward pass because Partey's abandoned his right back position and decided to bomb up the football pitch. Then the second one, Zinchenko, square pass, just sloppy, straight into Adama Traore's feet. He wins a corner off that. Lo and behold, they score from that through Palinha. That's really worried me. Second thing that's worried me, taking a long time to score our goals. We're not breaking down the opposition quick enough. Obviously, we made it 2-1, fine, but we took a long time to get those goals. Third thing that's worried me, at 10 men down, you haven't closed out the game. At 11v11, I'd expect us to win this game. And at 11v10, you double, triple, quadruple expect Arsenal to win this football match. There is not a single situation in any alternate reality across billions of multi-dimensions where Arsenal should lose this football match, being 11 against 10. It should not happen. It is unacceptable. These are dire consequences that should arise from this. You might say I'm dramatic, yes, but we want to win a league title. And I'm sorry, but if you want to win Premier Leagues, you can't afford to have stuff like this or performances like this. It's just not acceptable. If you want to fight for the Champions League, fine, you can get away with stuff like this. But I want to fight for the Premier League. I know last season we were so damn close, and I want to go that step further this year and lift the Premier League title in May. And to do that, you can't afford and you can't accept results like this. You can't sit there and give Arteta a free ride because he almost won the title last season. Mikel Arteta is a brilliant manager, but he's not won a notable trophy for this football club. Yes, he's won an FA Cup. Yes, he's won 2 Community Shields. I'm sorry, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I trade them all for 1 Premier League or Champions League. Until Mikel Arteta wins a Premier League and Champions League, in my eyes, he is not a top tier manager. He's a very good manager, and I have faith in Arteta. I'm not screaming Arteta out. Make no mistake about it. I'm not Arteta out whatsoever. So don't anyone think that. And you might say I'm being a bit dramatic, fine. But Mikel Arteta, once again, he's persisting with certain players. He's persisting with certain formations and tactics. And once again, his team has got complacent at this moment. Pep Guardiola's Man City side win this football match. Last season, they were 1-1 against Fulham. They had the 10 men. And last minute, they scored a penalty through Haaland to win that football match. They find a way to win the game. I watched the Air Jordan film yesterday. It came out in 2023, right? And one of Nike's policies is, we don't care about the process, you get the result. Same has to apply on the football pitch. Don't worry about the process. Don't worry about the way you get the goals. Find a way to win that football match. When there's 9 minutes lobbed on extra time, win that football match. Because I know any team that wants to win the Premier League will win that football match. They will find a way. And I was crediting us doing that last season. Last year, when I reviewed every single game on this channel, when we were beating teams like Bournemouth in the last second, Aston Villa in the last second, Manchester United in the last second, I was sitting here and saying, I think we're going to win the league title because league title winners find a way to win these matches. This season, we've got to find a way to score a goal in the last second, and we do not do it. We don't even look like scoring at the death, to be honest with you guys. And that's really got to worry me because we should have found a way to win this football match. I do genuinely believe so, especially with 10 men. But we don't. And look, where do we go from here? Well, we've got Manchester United next week. That has to be a win. If we drop points to Man United, I don't know where to go from there. Genuinely, I don't know where to. We have to beat Manchester United next week. Have to. No draws, no losses. Win that game. Bounce back ability. Pep Guardiola's Man City never drop points in back-to-back games. You will drop points in the season. Fair enough. I'm disappointed in the manner in which we dropped points there, given that we went 1-0 down to 2-1 up, to then them having 10 men and losing and drawing the match. But you do drop points. It's inevitable. We're not going to go unbeaten this season. My question now is, how do you respond from dropping points? Because Arsenal's problem last season wasn't drawing to West Ham United. It wasn't drawing to Liverpool. It wasn't drawing to Southampton. It was drawing to those 3 in a row. It wasn't losing to teams like Man City. It was then losing to Brighton. Why do we drop points in consecutive matches? That is our downfall. And you cannot be a team that's a reputation of doing that. You can't be a team that's a reputation of being just peaks and troughs, playing off your confidence. Because when confidence goes, you need to have your quality back. And I feel like Arsenal in previous seasons, last season and the season before when we were fighting for top 4, we always seem to just have runs where we were just not getting points whatsoever on a consistent basis, where we'd lose 1, then we'd lose 2, 3, and suddenly it wouldn't be 3 points dropped. It'd be 9.7 points dropped, something like that. Do you get what I mean? So Arsenal really need to find a way to win that game next week against Manchester United. Okay, let's get into some of your comments now. Mali, appreciate joining the stream. Hope you're doing well. RD12 equally. I hope this gives this manager a reality check now. 100% Arteta needs a reality check, man, because I called it. Why are we experimenting this team? I do not have a clue, man. Don't have a clue. Gabriel, get back into this Premier League side. Zinchenko needs to start. If Timber's injured, Zinchenko needs to start. Partey right back. Experimentation period is done. Kai Havertz, get out of this football team right now, man. Ride the bench for me. I'd rather start Fabio Vieira than Kai Havertz based off today's performance. At least Fabio Vieira brought intensity. Havertz just walks, bro. He just walks around the football pitch. He's slow. He's like a giraffe, man. Like, there's nothing fast about him. There's not a bone that's got urgency in his body. The man will not get you results. Kai Havertz had some good chances in the first half today, and he's just slow. Like, there's one chance that epitomized everything that's wrong about Kai Havertz. And the main reason I did not want to see Arsenal bring him in. Saka does absolutely brilliantly on the right-hand side. He takes on his man. He whips the ball across the box, right? And Havertz makes some kind of run and then just stands still. The ball is on the money for Havertz. If he just sustained the run he was making, he didn't need to sprint. If he moved at any sort of pace, he would have had a tap in. But he just checks his run and just stands in the box like a lemon. What is he doing? Like, that's the first half. Another one where Saka, the cross comes in, Saka hooks it back across the box, and Havertz just sticks the leg out just half-heartedly. Bro, put your foot on the line, man. Put your body on the line. Havertz, once again, did nothing in the minutes he was on the pitch. Mason Mount did nothing for Manchester United in his first 2 games. Erik ten Hag dropped him. I want to see a similar type of ruthlessness from Arteta now. Get your ego out the door. I know you bought him for 65 million. I know you're so desperate for your main signing to pay off, but it's not working. It's a failure right now. He might come good in a few weeks' time, fine. But you need to take him out the firing line for now. Kai Havertz, take him out the football team. Start, I don't care, Smith Rowe. No, for me, actually, against Manchester United, Arteta, I don't care what you're thinking. This is a team you play against Manchester United, right? Ramsdale or David Raya. I don't even care right now, man, because that goal Ramsdale conceded the first one was criminal. Either way, Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel Zinchenko, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. That is the team to play against Manchester United. Don't ask any more questions. Or you swap Jesus for Nketiah. I don't mind. But that's got to be the Arsenal team. I don't want to see no Havertz. I don't want to see Kivior. I don't want to see, what's that brother's name, man? That's playing games. I don't want to see Partey at right back. I don't want to see any of it. Do you agree with that formation? Let me know in the live chat, man. That's how Arsenal should be playing. That was a horrible game. I mean, it's an entertaining match, but it was a horrible result for Arsenal. That was the problem. How did the scoring go in terms of the Arsenal game? Bro, I mean, look, Arsenal went 1-0 down to Andreas Pereira after 1 minute. Absolutely criminal. This is the thing, right? I thought we'd win this game 4-1. I predicted it a 4-1 win because I said now, first two games, right, guys? I obviously, after the Crystal Palace game, I was like, don't worry about how we won the games. We won the game. That was all that mattered. 6 points out of 6. Perfect. But against Fulham, I did say, I want to see us get a convincing win against Fulham because you can't win every game by 1-0. Like, that's not sustainable. You can't win every game by 1 goal margin. We have to have a point where we win certain games convincingly, where it's not some kind of squeaky bum time, throw the kitchen sink at it. We don't need that. That can wait till March, April. We do need to win certain matches, just playing some like confident stuff and putting the team to the sword after about 70 minutes, the game's locked up. But no, once again for Arsenal, it's nervy. Once again, the game is not done and we're making substitutions. Once again, at 2-1-up, with the opposition having 10 men, we sit back and absorb pressure. Why? That makes absolutely no sense. I don't get it. You literally have built a possession-oriented football team. You have built a team that had 79% of the ball before you went 2-1-up. Why, oh why are you caving in to a team that's got 10 men? I don't get it. It's the tactics things. Yeah, I guess it is to an extent, man. Arsenal's just got to take a long, hard look at himself. But I think this is the biggest problem. Poor focus and lack of concentration. You've hit the nail on the head right here. Lack of concentration, complacency. At 2-1-up, you think the game's done. At 2-1-up, you think, oh, that's it, game over, complete. They're down to 10 men as well. Perfect. Ride home, 9 points out of 9, time to play Manchester United. You got complacent. You started making the wrong pass. You started making mistakes. The game is not over until the final whistle. That's how it's always been in football and how it will always be. You cannot let your team get complacent. You cannot let yourself make mistakes and think the game is over because complacency is a powerful, powerful drug. And Mikel Arteta is once again making catastrophic errors. Odegaard comes off the pitch at only 2-1-up. Why? Because lo and behold, it goes to 2-2 and your most creative player is sitting on the bench. If we have Odegaard on that pitch, I'm not saying we win the game with Odegaard, but I'm saying we have a much better chance of winning that football match if Odegaard's on the football pitch. I genuinely believe so. So why are you taking Odegaard off? It makes absolutely no sense, man. Mikel Arteta, he's yet to win a notable trophy in my eyes for him to have this arrogance at times. I'm not Arteta out, make no mistake about it. I'm still a massive Arteta fan. And I still do believe he can be the manager to bring Arsenal the Premier League title. But Mikel Arteta, look at yourself in the mirror. Because once again, your tactics failed big time today. You had pie on your face on this game. Because from the start, it was wrong. From the start, I don't know what you were thinking. The whole Arsenal fan base is sitting there going, what is going on? You brought in squad depth and you made it even more confusing what's happening. Last season, right, we lacked squad depth. Fine, I agree. But at least you knew your best 11. At least your starting 11, no one had questions about it. Our starting 11, Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. No one had questions. That starting 11 would start and every Arsenal fan was like, perfect. Back to business. That's the main 11. Let's get to work. Nowadays, the starting 11 comes out and the majority of the Arsenal fan base is absolutely bamboozled. What's going on? Why is Gabriel not in the team? Why is Havertz still in the team? Why is Jesus not playing? Why is Zinchenko not playing? We're sitting there just confused, and that's not a good look. No one gets confused when Pep Guardiola starts his Man City team this season. No one's sitting there going, oh my God, what the hell is Rico Lewis doing in the team? Because Rico Lewis doesn't start in most matches. Do you get what I mean? Arteta, right? He's overcomplicating it. He's confusing it. It makes no sense. Ben White's been a right back for us last season. We almost won the league with him at right back. In my opinion, he was arguably right back of the season alongside Kyle Walker. This year, he's playing at centre-back. You've got Saliba, who's a right-footed centre-back, playing at left centre-back. You've got Gabriel, who's one of the best centre-backs last season, on the bench. You've got Kivior, who's a backup to Gabriel, starting. And Gabriel's on the bench. It makes no sense to me. You've got Zinchenko, who was one of the best left-backs in the Premier League last season. who would be a backup or starter with Timber in the team, on the bench. He might not be fit, fine, but if you can come off the bench last week and come off the bench today, the brother's fit enough to play, make no mistake about it. But again, on the bench, what are you doing, Arteta? Like, genuinely, what is he doing? Then you got to question the team as well, because lack of concentration is a big problem. Zinchenko comes into the team, and I have massive respect for Zinchenko. He's got good control of the football, good authority. He gets the ball in midfield, right? It's the 85th minute. The ball's in midfield. Fulham have basically given up. They're down to 10 men. He turns, he's looking left, right. What do? Pass it straight to Adama Traore. It's stupid things, bro. Like, it's stupid stuff. Adama Traore runs up the pitch and then obviously gets a corner. Lo and behold, you concede from a corner. What have I always said about corners, guys? Set pieces are the biggest indicator of a weak side and a soft team. Strong teams do not concede from set pieces. Weak teams concede from set pieces. That is how you find out a weak team. A team that concedes from set pieces. And once again today, they've got 10 men and you do not defend from a set piece. Ball into the box. It's not a wonderful ball. It's not a 10 out of 10 cross. It's a simple corner into the box. João Palinha, with his foot, scores the goal. Not with his head, with his foot. Which means the person at the near post has not cleared it. The second person at the near post has not cleared it. The ball trickled to the center of the box and he just sweeps it home with his right peg. And no one's put a challenge in. It is absolutely criminal, man. Absolutely criminal. And look, if we won this game, I would be jumping up and down like a madman going, we've won 3-2. But even still, I would still say in the match reaction, it's too soon for Arsenal to get this frantic. It's too soon for it to be fast and furious. It's too soon for us to be so crazy towards the end of the game. There needs to be some more calming assurance about Arsenal. You do not win a Premier League title being frantic. You win a Premier League title being controlled. No one makes $1 billion. No one's a billionaire making frantic, crazy decisions. No one's got the most aesthetic body in the world going to the gym and making frantic decisions. 1 minute he's doing legs, then he's doing bench press. It doesn't make sense. There needs to be ordered. There needs to be some kind of order about you. There could be ordered chaos. That can work. But there needs to be some kind of order about Arsenal Football Club. And right now, I do not see. It's deserted us completely. You defend to the last minute, 100%. Even at the end of the game, right? Obviously, Fabio Vieira, I believe, gets fouled. Either way, they call for a Fulham free kick, the referee. And Adama Traore almost scored. Saliba almost gave away a penalty. My heart was in my mouth. I genuinely thought that was going to be a penalty kick. I saw Saliba go in. He goes to ground. And, I mean, thank God that Traore tried to shoot. And obviously, his finishing is lackluster at best. But that was almost a penalty. You almost lose the game conceding 2 goals to a team that's got 10 men. It's almost crazy. But look, it's the way it goes sometimes, man. Waste of time. Yeah, absolutely. White and Gabriel were our most consistent players last season. One is on the bench and the other is playing the wrong position. Exactly. Case in point what I was saying at RG12. Case in point. I'm surprised by that result. 100% Jeff. And myself as well. I'm so surprised. I'm so disappointed and surprised. Because look, guys, there's ways you can lose football matches. I understand that. I understand that no team will go unbeaten this season. This isn't the Invincibles Arsenal. You're going to lose football matches. I can accept that. I can accept losing. I just can't accept losing, drawing in the manner in which we have done today. If you draw a football match when you've got 10 men off a stupid red card like Tomiyasu had, and you're playing really well and you just concede like a crazy goal, like just a 40-yard absolute banger where no keeper on planet Earth saves it, you hold your hands up and say, it is what it is, man. Obviously, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. But when you lose the match, having been 1-0 down to a stupid mistake early, you then fight so hard to get back into the game and lead 2-1. You then sit back and absorb pressure like a sponge when you have been dictating possession for the past 70 minutes. When the opposition then goes down to 10 men and you still find a way to concede, that is what I can't accept. That is what disappoints me. Because teams are going to look at that right now and go, wow, Arsenal got a soft side to them. Arsenal, this isn't the Arsenal of last season. Arsenal got a soft underbelly to them. You can get her, Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal aren't ruthless. No. Arsenal don't have that killer gene that Man City have. No. You know what, Arsenal, actually? We can beat Arsenal. We can have 10 men and we can still beat Arsenal. It's not a good look. You're building the wrong type of reputation when you do things like this. But look, man, obviously it's only match week 3. I don't want to get too wound up because there is still a long way to go in the season. But I will say, right, yeah, Arteta's got a lot to turn around because Arteta's done so well for Arsenal so far. But just like anything in life, right, there's always another mountain to climb. And the mountains always get higher. When you're broke, you want to aim for the first £1,000. When you get to the £1,000, you want to aim for the 10,000. When you aim for the 10,000, you want to get to 100,000, then the million, then the billion. But they get harder and harder and harder each time. Arteta has done the hard part, many would say. But now's the harder part. You've taken Arsenal to be title challengers. Now win a league title, because that's the difficult part. You can make your team title challengers, fine. That is difficult to do. But executing and winning the league title, that's what gets remembered. No one remembers second place finishers. No one remembers the team that put the pressure on. You only remember the team that won the league titles, that won the Champions Leagues, that did the trebles. That's the teams you remember, not the teams that almost won it. And right now, Arteta's building up a reputation. Obviously, he's early in his career, so I still think he can win Arsenal the league title. But right now, he's building up a reputation of a manager that's getting us to the position, but not getting us over the line. He's missed it almost. It's good, but it's not quite Carling. That is Mikel Arteta right now. Look, I know it's still early in the season and it's too early to start getting very rash about it. But I'm just saying what I see. There's still a long way to go. But Mikel Arteta, fix up, bro. Fix up, because the Arsenal fan base wants titles. We're demanding trophies now. We're not going to sit here and accept second place. I'm not accepting second place unless we win the Champions League. If we come second place and get 97 points, I'll accept that, like Liverpool done under Jurgen Klopp. If we get second place with 79 points or 84 points again, I'm not accepting that. Your squad's got better from last season. Your points tally has to improve. That's my opinion on it. We have to go find the Champions League. You have to go find the Premier League. I will not allow this fan base to think that we can come second again. Look, you can come second, fine, but come second winning by having 95 points. Don't come second with 84 again. Come second when putting up a real good title challenge. That's what I want to see Arsenal do. Eman, I appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I'm sick and tired of the complacency in our team. Brother, exactly the same, man. Hit the nail on the head. 100% agree with you. Complacent throughout the football team. Lack of intensity at times. And the starting 11 does not match the intensity. Kai Havertz brings no intensity to this football team. Absolutely zero. Yet he's starting in the team. As soon as he came off the pitch, look what ended up happening. As soon as Kai Havertz came off the football pitch, we scored to make it 2-1. Do you get what I mean? It's little things like that. As soon as Ben White started playing at right back, we won. We were leading this football match and almost won the game. Do you get what I mean? It's the little things that's a wrong decision sometimes. We've got red trash last week. We've got the red trash last week. Yeah, look, it's just obviously the first two games were really good to win them, but there were some warning signs because you can't keep grinding out victories. You can't keep being 2-0 up and then concede to make it 2-1 against Forest. You can't keep only winning 1-0. I gave the team a lot of credit last week against Crystal Palace because we were down to 10 men. And I do believe that if we didn't have 10 men, we probably would have won that game 2-3-0. So I give them a lot of credit. But today, credit is out the window for me. That was a terrible result. London derbies are difficult. Yeah, but it's Arsenal against Fulham, brother. Like, Tommy, come on, bro. Like, I appreciate you on the stream, but you're playing Fulham at home. This ain't Craven Cottage. This ain't Stamford Bridge. This ain't Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This ain't even Brentford Stadium. This is Fulham at home. At home against Fulham. You don't drop points in these games. This should be the most routine 3 points of all time. And we don't get it. I don't get why. We've got United next Saturday. Yeah, and we need to win that. No, Sunday, but yeah, we need to win that game for an absolute fact. Every time we take the lead, we put the foot off the gas. Unacceptable. Eman hit the nail on the head once more, my friend. Exactly. Taking your foot off the gas. At 2-1, we should be going for the third goal and killing the game off because they're there for the taking. But instead, we take our foot off the gas and retreat. Why? Look, if we play like this in the Champions League, we're going to get ripped apart. By the way, I've started talking about Premier League. Imagine the Champions League. Imagine the Arsenal team plays like this in the Champions League, guys. Because you think Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are going to stand for this? You think Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are going to perform like Fulham did? They're going to rip you to pieces. I think Arsenal are a really good football team. Now I want to go into the Champions League, right, with aims of trying to win the thing. But if you perform anything like this, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City, they will come and they will destroy you. I'll tell you that for an absolute fact. So, look, you have to really keep your foot on the gas for 90 minutes. Or you take care of the result and you're 3-0 up, then you take your foot off the gas. But you never, ever take your foot off the gas at only a 1-goal lead. That's a rookie mistake that Arsenal did. Tommy won all 6 last season. Exactly, Malia. We won all 6 London derbies away from at home last season. No excuse for me. That Kai Havertz is trash. Once again, Kai Havertz, a lack of intensity, man. Arteta needs to take his ego out the equation. I know you're just signing for 65 million. I know you're desperate for your new signing to work, but it's not going to work, man. Kai Havertz, maybe later down the line, but my assumptions, unfortunately, have proved correct so far. Kai Havertz is not the right player for Arsenal. He's not intense enough. He's not clinical enough. Yes, he can hold up play, but that's gonna matter in very few matches if you're Arsenal Football Club. Because the majority of games you play will be a low block. You will play against teams that attack you maybe once or twice all season. And that will be Man City and maybe like Liverpool. Every other team you play will sit back and play a low block. And Kai Havertz is absolutely useless against low blocks. Useless. He's not clinical. He's not intense. He doesn't run. His passing's average. He's useless against low blocks, man. So for me, waste of a signing. I would have rather see Fabio Vieira start. Emil Smith or even. I'd rather them two have played, to be honest. What, home and away? I mean, look, we won every single home London derby last season. Away from home, we basically did apart from West Ham. That left side in Havertz and Martinelli is a sin to football. I feel sorry for Martinelli, bro. I genuinely feel sorry for him because Bukayo Saka, yeah, has the luxury of having Martin Odegaard behind him to make the passes. Now we've got Bukayo Saka out there that's got that luxury, right? Martinelli, on the other hand, got Kai Havertz, bro. Look at look, next Arsenal game you watch, right? Watch the triangles that happens between Ben White, Odegaard, and Saka on the right-hand side. Then watch it on the left-hand side. It's chalk and cheese, night and day. It's completely different. For Arsenal, right? On the right-hand side, the link-up is chef's kiss, brilliant. On the left-hand side, it's Martinelli doing it by himself. Havertz offers no support. The left-back Kivior's a defender. He's not going to offer any support. It's just criminal at times. So I want to see a real proper investment in that left-hand side. Fabio Vieira was a much better player today. Make no mistake about it. Fabio Vieira should not start next week against Manchester United, but he was a much better player, in my opinion. Let's touch upon some other players. Aaron Ramsdale. What's your thoughts on him, guys? Let me know in the live chat. Aaron Ramsdale, right? In goal, I think that first goal, his position was absolutely terrible. I think that the corner, I can't really blame him. Maybe he should come out and punch it clear. Maybe, but I don't think that's the biggest problem. I think the save he made against Traore at the end was really good. And he made a couple of really good saves as well. I don't think he was the biggest problem today, Aaron Ramsdale. There will be calls for David Raya to get into the team based off the first goal he conceded because his positioning was outright terrible. Whenever you're a goalkeeper, right? Any goalkeeper knows this. And Aaron Ramsdale should know this. I'm not going to teach him anything new. Goalkeepers always glance their near post because they get their angles right for their near post. And instead what he was doing is he was running back like a headless chicken and he conceded from his near post. Goalkeeper, the first thing you look at is your near post. Angle right in your near post. Have I got enough time to save my near post? If they score far post, fine, so be it. But that's a harder finish than near post. Get your angles sorted. Ramsdale was just running backwards like a headless chicken, being discombobulated, and he gets sent at his near post. It's not good enough, in my opinion, for Ramsdale. That goal, look, if he makes a save there, it's 0-0, and then we can keep the game going. At 1-0 down, you're chasing the game after 1 minute. It's not ideal. And once again, it's carbon copy what Arsenal seem to do. Southampton, the same thing. Against Bournemouth, the same thing. Early goals conceded for Arsenal Football Club. Lack of concentration, lack of intensity from minute 1. Against Forest in the first game, Brennan Johnson had a really good chance after 10 minutes. Should have done better. Raul Jimenez almost scored a brilliant goal with his like half scissor scorpion kick. Half scissor bicycle kick. Once again, Arsenal, lack of composure. Complacency is getting involved. We're not really keeping our concentration early in the football match. I seriously don't want him in the team. I agree. Havertz needs to leave this team, man. Vieira and Nketiah, the only positives, I agree. I thought they were very good. I thought Declan Rice had another good game as well, though, to be fair. That's an achievement in itself, Malia. Yeah, I agree. We beat Palace, Tottenham, Chelsea, Fulham, and last season drew against West Ham. Exactly, man. The double over all those teams apart from West Ham United. Smash likes. Yes, if you're new around here, smash like, subscribe as well. But I react to every single Arsenal game and other Premier League football matches as well. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe down below. I'll be dropping Arsenal transfer news daily on this channel as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Jesus came on in the 91st minute. Look, exactly. And you're bringing on Jesus, who just came back from an injury to try and win the football match. And you take off Declan Rice. Once again, that's a poor decision, in my opinion. Poor decision. At the point when you want to bring on Jesus, take off Kivior. Take off Kivior or something like that. Why are you taking off Declan Rice? Declan Rice is a better transition player, and he can be a threat on the edge of the box. And he's taller than Kivior as well. Why are you taking off Declan Rice? That makes no sense to me. If Gabriel Jesus is fit enough to play, start him. That's my opinion on it. But no, Ben White, when he went to right back, was a much better player than he was at centre back. Last season, Ben White was one of the best right backs in the Premier League at right back. Now you shifted him back to centre back to play Partey out there. Makes no sense. Everything's just so frantic from Arsenal. You're trying to win the game with a goal at the death again. It's not good enough. It's too early in the season for stuff like that. Now got Man United next Sunday. Yeah, Mohammed, bro. I appreciate you joining the stream. That'll be another tough game, but I can't wait for that. Okay, evening, everyone. Appreciate you joining the stream as well, Mohammed. Oh, yeah, that West Ham away game. Exactly, yeah. Mikel is confused. Agree. He's like, sometimes the brother he sits there, yeah, and he's thinking on the job. Like, bro, like, I don't get it sometimes. Like, he's there, like, thinking, what do I do? Brother, what do you mean, what do I do? You chose this team. You chose Havertz to play. You chose Partey at right back. The warning signs were there against Crystal Palace. The warning signs were there against Forest last week. You can't say it hasn't been coming for Partey at right back. You can't say it hasn't been coming for Havertz in this team. The warning signs have been there. It's your choice to not change them. If you see your car's getting robbed and you do nothing about it, and your car eventually gets robbed, who's to blame? You're the robber. You're the one to blame, bro. You're seeing your car get robbed. You're sitting there staring. Hopefully the robber's going to give up. Bro, like, come on, man. You see something's not working, change it. Partey right back, not working, change it. If this man has the arrogance and the cheek to play Partey at right back next week against Manchester United, I will lose everything. I will absolutely lose everything, man. He cannot play Partey right back against Manchester United next week. Absolutely not. He doesn't know his starting 11. I agree. Either that or he's just being overcomplicated with it and he's being a bit arrogant. Why the hell is Partey right back? No clue, bro. He's a CDM, not a defender. Mali, 100% agree, man. The man is a central defensive midfielder. He has to start, but not a right back. Arteta is the problem. He does what he wants. Joseph, I appreciate joining the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I agree with you, man. Arteta's been a bit complacent. This is the problem with Arteta, right? He's got a bit of an ego to him. And he doesn't warrant having an ego at this time because the man has not won any notable trophies to have an ego, in my opinion. Let's be real about it. So why is he thinking, all right, Havertz has to start? I've signed Havertz for 65 million. He has to play for me. So Havertz has to play. Okay, cool. I'm not going to play him up front because I think I want to have another striker on the pitch and I don't want to be too defensive-minded. Right, so Havertz has to play. Odegaard has to play as well. And I signed Declan Rice for 105 million. He has to play. Oh, but Partey needs to get into this team. But he can't play in the midfield three. All right, fine. I'll put Partey right back. It's square pegs in round holes. It's square pegs in round holes. If I tell you I'm one of the best salesmen of all time and you put me on admin duty, you're not using your resources correctly. A manager in football is just like a manager in any other occupation. The job of a manager is to put the right people in the right places to succeed. It's resource allocation and resource capacity. And Mikel Arteta is not putting his players in the right places to succeed. He's putting Partey right back. He's putting Havertz in the team, and it is not working. Case in point, it is flopping. Rice, Odegaard, Partey midfield, exactly. Against Manchester United, this is the team Arteta has to play. And let me know if you agree in the live chat. I've said it before, I'll say it again. To play Manchester United, this is the team that starts. Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and either Jesus or Nketiah. That's the team that starts. None of this Havertz, none of this Ben White at right back, none of this Kivior, none of that, man. Back to basics. Back to the team that was doing so well last season. Look, you brought in squad depth. You didn't bring squad altering players. That's not how it worked. Gabriel played 30 out of 38 last season. Exactly, we almost won the league. And Gabriel wasn't that bad to be the weak point. If I told you there was one weakness for Arsenal last season, I would never have said Gabriel. I would not have said that. I would have said maybe the left back Zinchenko. And we addressed that with Timber, but not Gabriel. That's for an absolute fact. The team is not balanced. I agree, 100% not. Arteta is overthinking things when we had a template that worked last season. RD12, 100% agree with you, my friend. 100% agree. He started to annoy me. Look, Arsenal fans getting frustrated with Mikel Arteta, bro. You can't get this arrogant. You haven't won the Premier League or Champions League to get this arrogant. You haven't got the resume that Pep's got. Why do you think you've got the ability to just change up the team on the fly like this? It's not good enough. The experimental lineups is getting annoying. Scott, I appreciate you on the stream, my friend. 100% agree with that. Why experiment, man? Why? The team was so good last season. In the games where our starting 11 played, we won basically every single football match. It's only when Saliba got injured where we started to fall off a little bit. But why? Why did he decide that he needs to go back? He needs to change the team that almost won us the title last season. I do not know. When Saliba left the Premier League team, right? When Saliba got injured and Rob Holding came in, that's when we fell off. It wasn't before that. Man City are slow starters, but if they win tomorrow, that's 9 out of 9. Arsenal can't afford a slow start. 100% Tommy, man. 100% agree. Havertz had a great up top against City and Community Shield, so why would persisting with Partey right back to accommodate him in midfield? Exactly, RG12. And this is the problem, right? Havertz should only start up front in games like against Man City when you have to defend like that. Otherwise, he's useless up front. Absolutely useless because that's not his game plan. It doesn't work well. Havertz is not clinical. He's not fast. He can hold up the play well, and that will work against teams that are going to attack you like a Man City. But for 90% of the games you play in the Premier League this season, it will be against low blocks where Havertz becomes redundant. He becomes obsolete. And for 65 million, it's a waste of money. If you want a hold-up player, you could have signed Mitrovic for like 40 million. You could sign Ivan Toney. There's plenty of hold-up players out there. So many available. Evan Ferguson's another one you could have signed. So why sign Kai Havertz for a hold-up striker? It makes no sense to me. You can't read anything into the Community Shield. Man City weren't even bothered winning it. Exactly. And I said that at the time. More often than not, the team that wins the Community Shield doesn't even win the Premier League. So it doesn't really mean much. Mason Mount is injured. I think, oh, fair enough. That makes more sense then. In these games, would have suited Havertz more, especially against the low blocks. Basically, on that point, hopefully Havertz gets injured. No, I'm joking. I don't want any player to get injured. But you know what I mean? At least it gives Arteta an excuse not to play Havertz. Maybe Havertz should have got a red card at the end of the game. In these games, it would have suited Havertz more, especially against the low blocks up top. No, I'm the opposite. I think Havertz plays better when he's not playing against low blocks. When he's playing against teams that want to attack. Because then he can be a hold-up player and you can link off him. When it's low blocks, Havertz has no clinicality to his game and he's got no intensity. When you need to move the ball quickly from left to right and shift the play, Havertz is just slow. One time, Declan Rice passed him the ball, right? And he can just turn and sprint. But he just plays a lazy pass back and gets intercepted. It just literally culminates in the fact that Havertz has no intensity in his match. That summed up everything about his game today. No intensity, no clinicality. There's one point when Saka has the ball at the byline, whips in a fantastic cross, almost 9 out of 10 on the money cross. And Havertz, he doesn't even bother not sprinting. He doesn't even run. He doesn't even walk into the box. He just stands still like a lemon on the penalty box and the ball flashes across goal. And everyone's sitting there going, what is Havertz doing? If he makes any sort of dart into the box, he doesn't even have to be a sprint. If he at least just jogs or runs, he gets from the end of it and we draw 1-1 early on in the first half. But he just has no movement to his game. He's just poor Havertz at times. So poor. The difference between us and City is when they went 1-0 up, they possessed the ball to make it the most boring game ever. Arsenal, when leading, we forget how to play and we become complacent. 100%. 100%. I reviewed Tottenham against Bournemouth early today, right? And many said it was a boring game. And I said Tottenham will suit that down to the ground. Andrew will love that it was a boring game for Tottenham because when it's a boring game, it's because you controlled the football match. Man City are boring to watch because they control the football match. Arsenal are entertaining because we can't control a football match. We can't. We control it up until going 2-1 up. Then we kind of just fall away at the wayside. You need to have some kind of control of the game. You're 100% right, RD12. When you're leading that football match, when they've got 10 men, that is your moment to kill the game. Go to the corner flags. Possess the football. There should be no reason that you should have less possession than Fulham after them having 10 men. Absolutely no reason for that. But we did. And that's so poor, man. Absalom, appreciate you on stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Arteta is not a real manager. That's a bit harsh. Why he used always Kai Havertz? He's supposed to play even Jorginho. I agree with you. Havertz should not be in this Arsenal team. And taking off Ødegaard was such a poor decision. I understand bringing on Jorginho because he adds some kind of security into the team. But you should not take Ødegaard off, in my opinion. Absolutely not. That's the wrong decision. You take off, in my opinion, in that position, I'd rather take off Martinelli than Ødegaard. Genuinely, I would rather take off Martinelli. Because then at least you've got your creator on the football pitch. Martinelli isn't necessarily a creator. I would have taken off Martinelli and kept Ødegaard on the football pitch, personally. That's what I would have done. But no, he takes off Ødegaard, and lo and behold, we need a goal. And our most creative technical footballer is sitting on the bench. It's just one of those things, bro. Edmund, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. When we to do away with his experimental stuff, agree. He's been on this since pre-season, and we expect him to have gotten the right 11-man squad by now. What a brilliant point, by the way. Brilliant point. You're 100% right here. Pre-season is there to get your starting 11 made. Last season in pre-season, we won all of our pre-season games, and into the Premier League season, the starting 11 was there. It was all perfect, and we hit the ground running. This season, we were playing players like Gabriel in pre-season. Then the Premier League season starts, and Gabriel's on the bench. What was the point of pre-season? There was no sort of consistency there. That is a fantastic point, Edmund. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a really good point. There was no consistency in that from pre-season to the start of this season. And I don't believe that it's luck that determines that. There is a direct correlation between teams that have a really good pre-season, not just in terms of results, but in terms of performances and consistency in team selection, to then hit the ground running in the Premier League. Our pre-season was okay. It was good. Obviously, we lost to Man United, but other than that, I thought it was a decent pre-season. But then again, into the first Premier League game, we changed the starting 11. I was so surprised to not see Gabriel start. So surprised. There was talking about injury. I said, okay, maybe he's injured. Fine. Then Chris Palace game comes around and he's not starting again. Oh, what's happening there? He's definitely not injured this time. Okay. Tomiyasu gets red card. I'm thinking, okay, against Fulham, now Gabriel has to start. And he still doesn't start. What's going on there? Havertz, in his first 2 games, was okay, but was nowhere near amazing. He continues to play. Partey right back. The warning signs were there. He continues to play. If you're going to play this team, I disagree with you, but at least you should have played it in pre-season. Because then you've got some low-risk games to implement it for 5-6 games. Then you can hit the ground running in the Premier League. But he didn't. So it's going to take some growing pains. Adebayo, appreciate your stream as well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Still wonder why I had to drop Gabriel Magalhaes. 100%, bro. Why? Why did he do that? I have absolutely no clue, my friend. No clue whatsoever. Obiora, I appreciate your stream, doing well. My challenge with Arteta is that he overdoes things. 100% agree. Overthinker. Havertz doesn't even know when to go and attack the ball. Agree. When they score goal, they will drop off, and why he took Odegaard off is beyond me. Agree with every single point you made there. Every single point, man. I understand 100% what you're saying. Havertz has no clinical edge on his body. He's got no urgency to him. I don't get why we sat back after the scoring. No clue whatsoever. Like, the game wasn't over at 1-1, so why should it have been over at 2-1? Do you get what I mean? Like, the game's never over. At 3-1, fine. At 10 men, they're basically game over, dusted. And taking Odegaard off is absolutely criminal. He also, Adebayo also goes Arteta out. I'm not Arteta out yet. Make no mistake about it. I still think Arteta can win us a Premier League, but it's not good signs like this. But I am still Arteta in. I'm not Arteta out. I still wants to destroy Arsenal. Bro, come on, that's a bit harsh, bro. It's a bit harsh, man. Martinelli is not at it since the season started. He hasn't really cracked it in this season for me. And switching his team all the time. I agree with you. You should have your starting 11 ready by now. It should be sorted, your starting 11. You've been manager of Arsenal Football Club for 4 seasons now, Arteta. This isn't the time to experiment anymore. You should know your starting 11, in my opinion. Martinelli in the first game against Forest was really good. He was a bit inconsistent, I believe, in the Community Shield and against Crystal Palace as well. But that first game, he was really, really good. So I think Arteta's got, obviously, a lot to prove still, but I think he's still a really good manager, Mikel Arteta. But he just needs to stop doing this stupid stuff like experimenting. Martinelli, I feel for him because he's got Havertz next to him, man. Saka's got Odegaard next to him, and Martinelli's got Havertz next to him, bro. It's night and day, chalk and cheese. It's like me running a company. It's like me running a basketball team, and I've got LeBron James, and the person I'm against has got, I don't know, like some bummy basketball player, like a Jonas Valanciunas or something. It's night and day. You got a really good playmaker next to you, and next to Martinelli, he's got a bum next to him in Havertz. I feel for him a little bit. You criticize, Pastor Jesus, appreciate joining the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. You criticize, draw, win, you win. Will you win all the matches? That's football. You win, draw, and lose. So we should learn to accept any result coming. It's not machine playing, it's man-to-man playing. I really do appreciate your opinion, by the way, Pastor Jesus. And I do agree with you. Results can happen. And I don't believe any team's going to go unbeaten, as I said earlier on in the stream. I have no problem with losing matches. Losses happen, draws happen. But I will criticize the manner in which you drop points. Because this is unacceptable, the way we lost this game. The way we drew this football match. It feels like a loss. That is the most annoying thing for me. Because you can lose matches and you can draw matches. That's fine. It happens. No team's going to win all 38 matches of the season. But the way you draw and lose matches, that is what I question. That is what irritates me. Because today, the way we drew that match was not good enough. It was not good enough from minute 1 when we conceded the sloppy goal. And it was not good enough in minute 86 when we conceded the goal to 10 men from a set piece. That is not good enough in my opinion. Where is Smith Rowe as well? Why is he not getting minutes? I have no clue either. Smith Rowe had a really good under-21s tournament. I think he was talking about how he wants to get more minutes on the football pitch. But no, not at all. Doesn't seem to get him on the pitch whatsoever. Arteta just wasted our 2 points there. Yeah, the whole team, Arteta involved. Everyone has to take a look at themselves because this is 2 points dropped. 2 massive points dropped for us. Mark, appreciate joining the stream. Very disappointed today. Not up for it. Yeah, 100% agree, bro. 100% agree. We were not at it from minute 1. We can see the sloppy goal at the start of the game. And then we went on to take the lead and go 2-1 up, yet still not win the football match and not close out the game. It's not good enough. Not enough consistency. Too complacent. We just went up for it. We grew into the game fine, but you can't keep going 1-0 down early in the football match because say it stays 0-0. I think we win this game convincingly, but no, at 1-0 down, we're chasing the game from minute 1, and you can't keep doing that if you want to win the league title. It's just all a bit fast and furious. It's all a bit Netflix scripted. It's too much drama and action to win the league title. There needs to be some more order around the football team because it's too much chaos. It's like I'm watching like a TV show. So it's just entertainment rather than actual structure and integrity. Do you, Arsenal for life, appreciate joining the stream, my friend. Do you think Arteta will get sacked by January? No, I don't think he will. I think Arsenal will keep Arteta this season. If Arsenal do not win a trophy this season, though, and do not win a trophy, / if we come second in the Premier League by not getting, if we don't improve our points tally from last season, so we got 84 points last season. If we don't get more than 84 points and don't win a trophy like the Champions League, Arteta could get sacked. I genuinely believe so. You have to get more than 84 points. You have to improve because your squad's improved. There's no point. There's no doubt about it. Arsenal score goals and a drop-off. Agree. Very annoying team. Why is he not playing Gabriel Magalhaes? It's beyond me. 100% agree with that. I don't know why he keeps making himself look like he knows it all. 100% agree right there, man. Arteta he's been a bit arrogant sometimes. You haven't won enough trophies to have this arrogance about you. Your ego is a powerful, powerful thing. Obviously, ego can be so positive in certain moments, but when it's a detriment to you, like it is to Arteta sometimes, it can hold everyone back. You haven't won the treble. You haven't won a Premier League. You haven't won the Champions League. You won 1 FA Cup and 2 Community Shields. You have no right to have this arrogance at times, Mikel Arteta. Look at Man United. See you, and I appreciate John Stream, my friend. Long time no see. Look at Man United, came from 2-0 down to win 3-2. Exactly. That's the mentality you should have when you go down. Exactly. And United were playing against 10 men as well. And they still found a way to win that football match. Arsenal today did not find a way to close out and win this game. And that's got to be so disappointing for every Arsenal fan out there. Needs to be up for it next week. No tinkering. Don't worry about Havertz. He will come good. I appreciate your point, Mark. Would you start Havertz next week, though? Because I definitely wouldn't. I would go back to Rice, Partey, and Odegaard in that midfield three, in my opinion. And in the flat back four of Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Zinchenko. Very embarrassing. What a combination, playing Trossard and Havertz at the same time. Yeah, that was so poor, man. No intensity there whatsoever. I don't know whether he can win a major trophy for Arsenal. Money have been spent. He's been supported ridiculous. This is the thing, right? And it's a very good point because it's very hard taking Arsenal from a position we were in to title challenges. And I give Arsenal the utmost credit for that. But it is very much even harder to win a trophy. There are only 4 trophies you can win each season, in my opinion. I don't care about no Community Shield or anything like that. There's only 4 trophies you can win. Last season, Man City won 3 of them. So, to win one of those 4 trophies, you need to be a winner. A born and bred winner. And very few managers have that. There's some very good managers in this world, but very few of them were actually out-and-out winners. Is Arteta a winner, or is he just a very good manager? That's my question. Is he elite, or is he very good? That's what we're yet to find out. He's got the ego of being an elite manager, but right now he's yet to win a trophy, which makes him a very good manager. That is the question mark I've got over his head. Babs, appreciate your stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Going to get destroyed in the Champions League. If we perform like that, 100% we will. We've got a lot to look at ourselves and improve. Arsenal for life will get knocked out early in the stages of the Champions League. Hopefully we won't, man. I'm thinking at least a quarter/semi-final of the Champions League. We're good enough to win the Champions League. The quality of the squad is there. It's just whether we do it. Raj, appreciate your stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Kai Havertz is a waste of time. Well, today as well, again. What was he doing, man? Lack of intensity, lack of urgency. I'm pretty sure if you put me on the pitch, I'd run more than Havertz. I want to know what his yards covered were because it was not good enough one bit, man. Not good enough one bit. Anish, appreciate you joining the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Your views on Ramsdale today? I think for that first goal, it was poor. He needs to check his angles and obviously clear the football and save it. For the second goal, I think maybe he could come out and clear it. Other than that, I don't think he really had anything to deal with Aaron Ramsdale. I don't think it was a horrible game. But yeah, that first goal, you need your goalkeeper to just bail you out in certain moments. And he definitely didn't do us any favours there. I've always said that Havertz was an Arteta's vanity project. 100%, man. And because of the ego he's got, he won't drop him. Anyone knows that you should drop Havertz, bro. Everyone can see it. Take him out of the team, man. Take him out of the firing line. He does not fit this Arsenal team. He doesn't at all. Fabio Vieira is far better and lively. Yeah, Vieira showed up Havertz today. Vieira was one of Arsenal's worst performers last season. Yet, coming off the bench, he was actually decent. He looked very good. And Havertz looked poor. That's a massive wake-up call for Kai Havertz. The man just looks lost. He's just a giraffe wandering around in the safari. There's no intensity to Havertz's game whatsoever. 3 games, 3 goals conceded. All the goals conceded at home. The same attitude and always licking goals at home. I don't see them winning. Man United play the way Arsenal is playing every season. Rubbish. That's the thing, bro. Once again, your home form is okay, but the goals conceded at home is always a problem. If you're playing at home, you should not be conceding goals like this. Your home clean sheets are your foundation. They are the bedrock of everything you want to achieve as a football club. You could not be conceding stupid, silly goals at home like Arsenal do. And that's what we're doing week in, week out. Stupid, silly goals conceded. Arsenal playing with 10 men when Kai Havertz was on the field. The moment Kai was substituted, Arsenal was back with 11 men. Bro, that's a funny point, but it's true, man. Havertz came off. Partey came into midfield. Sorry, Partey came off the pitch as well. And suddenly Arsenal go 2-1 up. Ben White goes to his natural right-back position. And suddenly we go 2-1 up. Arteta came out on Sky Sports last season and said that he wanted to play Ben White at right-back. He just had to play him as centre-back because of a lack of centre-back options. Now we've got an abundance of centre-back options, yet he still plays Ben White as centre-back. The man's lost the plot. You said you wanted to play Ben White at right-back the whole time, and that was the reason you bought him. But now you're playing him at centre-back. I don't get it. Yep, near post again. Exactly, man. Exactly the problem with Ramsdale. This system doesn't work for Arsenal. Arteta is messing up. Agree. Partey's not a right-back. Hit the nail on the head there. And Ben White was superb when he shifted to right-back. Agreed 100%. Making those overlapping runs. Linking with Saka and Odegaard. That is what Ben White was doing all last season. He was building up a really good rapport and link up with Saka. Really good connection there. Why are you swapping that out for Partey, who clearly is not going to overlap? Makes no sense for me. I'm going to get destroyed in the Champions League for sure. it's too early to say that, but you definitely can't perform anything like this if you want to go far in the competition. Ayala, appreciate joining the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Arteta should revise his first 11. Agree. And stop playing Partey right back, please. 100%, man. 100%. Arteta needs to take a long, hard look at himself. You've had pre-season. You've had the whole of last season. You should be knowing your starting 11 by now, in my opinion. Duok Nuts, appreciate joining the stream, my friend. Sorry, Duok Mutt. Havertz is a waste to Arsenal. I think Arteta plays him because he's ashamed of the money he wastes for buying him. Exactly what I was saying. Exactly. It's an ego purchase. Big time ego purchase. Nyalim, appreciate joining the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Shocking, and this is the performance we are going to put up in the Champions League. I hope not. I bloody well hope this is not the type of performance we perform the Champions League in. Because if it is, we'll get ripped apart if you're Arsenal Football Club. The market is still open. Arteta is appalling, and he feels he knows it. He should know his first team by now. How come he keeps playing Partey right back? He has a great team now. 100%, man. You know you're starting 11. You brought in the players you want to see. Why, oh why do you decide that certain players shouldn't be playing on the team and certain players should? It makes no sense to me. Ike Richards, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Arteta already knew the ability of his players. Why experimenting? Agree. Kai Havertz can come and depend on how the game is going. Agree. He's someone you bring off the bench to hold up play. He's someone that at 2-1 up, you bring off the bench to hold up. He should not start matches. When we are winning, he might be introduced. Exactly agreed. Zahir, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. What is this? Arsenal take the lead, then take the foot off the gas. 100%, brother. Why do the boys always invite the pressure? Exactly, man. We did so well to be on the front foot and attack. Why, oh why, do we then decide at 2-1 up after all our hard work that we're going to sit back and soak up pressure? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Partey, Rice, and Odegaard is a great midfield. His ego is what makes Arsenal drop off, and he's not Pep Guardiola. So gutted to drop points against Fulham team that Brentford beat last week. 100% Obiara, bro. Couldn't have said it better myself. Why bring Jesus on in the 91st minute? Bro, it's beyond me, man. It's beyond me. Dennis, I know this is off topic, but how do you feel about your final year uni? Excited for it to be over, to be honest, man. I can't wait to graduate, to be real with you. See you. I appreciate the question, though. And more main channel content as well, by the way, guys. Any of you that want to check out my main channel, I produce university advice, etc. Obviously, for a lot of you, it might not be relevant because you just care about football. That's completely fine. But on the off chance that you do care about, obviously, self-help, productivity, university, things like that, academics, fitness, then check out my other personal channel. You'll check it out. It's called Dennis Sancar. It's my main name. It's my government name, I should say. Exactly, Rory, agreed. It's becoming a norm now at the Emirates to concede goals early due to lack of concentration. Rams as well, he doesn't help matters at times. Look at the first goal from squad. Stop licking goals. 100% OBR, 100% agree with you, my friend, man. Once again, Ramsdale, right? You're near post, you need to cover it off. I understand that you've made a mistake or Saka's made a mistake, but where's that brotherhood mentality? Where's that you make a mistake, but I'll help you get out of it? I feel like at Man City, right? Man City make mistakes. For example, against Burnley, they went through on goal Burnley at times. Equally, Newcastle had a really good chance at 1-0 down when Callum Wilson went through on goal. Rodri made a mistake. But who's there to clean up the danger? Stones or Carl Walker or a Kanji. When someone makes a mistake for Man City, a brother bails them out. When Saka makes a mistake, Ramsdale doesn't bail him out. He makes another mistake on top of that. It's like Dumb and Dumber. Mistake one leads to mistake two. Zinchenko makes a mistake. Then we concede from the corner. Do you get what I mean, man? Like, it's just mistake after mistake after mistake. It's not a mistake getting bailed out by your teammates. It's the opposite, man. It's just mistakes compiled with more mistakes. Mikel's definitely egotistical. Agree with that 100%. And it's a shame because I understand the top managers do have an ego. Mourinho had it. Pep Guardiola has it. But they've got trophies to back it up. Arteta has not got the trophies to have this ego. We ain't got time for egos. Look, you ain't got time for egos if you're not a winner. If you're a winner, you can have an ego. Mourinho had an ego. Pep Guardiola has an ego. And rightfully so. But not Mikel Arteta, who's not won a trophy at this football club so far. What is it? League Gunner is back on Twitter, like a rat on cheese when he gets a whiff of negativity. Yeah, that's the thing about League Gunner, right? League Gunner's obviously pessimistic. No, RD12 is on X now. You know what I mean? Twitter, X, same thing. I keep calling it Twitter as well. It's the same thing, innit? Yeah, man, it's the same thing. Don't worry about it. I call it Twitter as well sometimes. Certain fans like League Gunner would, obviously, he thrives off the negativity. He's a pessimistic or realistic fan, as he likes to call it. And it's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I would say I'm an optimistic fan. Obviously, it doesn't look like it today, given what I'm saying. But I'm optimistic. But I understand standards. I understand that if you want to win a league title, things like this can't run. I still do believe Arsenal will fight for a league title this season. But you ain't going to do it performing like this. I'll tell you that for an absolute fact. Because this was car crash at times. The mistakes were absolute paramount. And it culminated in us dropping points today. Because the Premier League's a ruthless, ruthless game. I spoke yesterday about Luton Town and how they got a rude awakening to the Premier League. In their first few matches, their first two games. Arsenal again today against the Fulham team got a rude awakening that if you don't keep your heads, if you lack consistency, and if you get complacent, you will get punished. Doesn't matter if it's Fulham or Man City, you will get punished. And Arsenal today got punished. What do you think of aftv? Massive fan of what Robbie's doing. I will never ever say a bad word against Arsenal Fan TV and what Robbie's done. I think he's an absolute entrepreneur. He's changed the whole impact that people like me and other football content creators can have on YouTube. He was the trailblazer for it. I'm a massive fan of what Don Robbie's doing at Arsenal Fan TV. Obviously, he's shifted, he's pivoted on what Arsenal's done or on what aftv has done, because prior to, I'd say, before COVID, right, and even a little bit during COVID, Arsenal Fan TV was crazy. It was their golden era because everyone could say what they want. Now, because he wants to get brand deals, Don Robbie is very careful about what he says. He's very careful about the type of people that he has on Arsenal Fan TV. People like Troops are there very rarely. DT's gone. Claude obviously has already left. Heavy D, obviously, unfortunately, he's passed away alongside with Claude. So obviously, rest in peace to both them two. But they've left by them. Lee Gunner's obviously gone. The polarizing characters have left. And he's replaced them with James, Curtis to an extent, Cecil, Julian. People like this. Do you get what I mean? Like, people that are just very vanilla. No disrespect to them. They're just vanilla. They're not going to come and start shouting for the manager's head. That's what he's done. And it works because obviously he's going to get the brand deals. But the traction that Arsenal Fan TV gets is far less than what they've got in previous seasons. If you look at Arsenal Fan TV's most popular videos, it will be the Arteta out, the Wenger out periods, because that was when you had the real like heart on the sleeve Arsenal fans, the hardcore gooners that would just say what they feel to be emotional channel. Now it's a very tactical channel. I respect Don Robbie for doing this. He had to do it at some point. If he wants to turn Arsenal Fan TV from a hobby into a business, he was going to have to clean up his act and go more PR, PC to get the brand deals. But obviously it makes it less entertaining to watch. So I'm someone that I believe will always keep my integrity. I will say what I believe. I'm not going to be too pessimistic. I'm not going to shout for Arteta out straight away. I'm not Arteta out, guys. I'm Arteta in 100%. But at the same time, if I do believe that there's bad performances, I'll come out and say it. Just like if there's good performance, I'll come out and say it. Last week against Crystal Palace, I was the biggest fan of the team. I was giving them all the plaudits in the world. I was saying, what a performance. We ground out the result. We won 1-0. We had 10 men. It was brilliant that we managed to win the game. I was saying, don't worry about the goal difference. It's all looking good. But today, we drew, and I'm going to come out hostile. It's how it is, man. You say how you feel. Michael, appreciate you on the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Arteta's ego is a downfall of Arsenal. Havertz is given a preferential treatment. Agree. Maybe he has clause that says he must play at all games. Maybe, bro. Maybe he's got a clause that says he has to appear in 25, 30 matches. I don't know. I really feel Arsenal's not ready to do the needful this season. Last season, left-hand side was active. Missing what Xhaka brought towards the left-hand side. Rice should be used to activate that side. I agree. I think the Community Shield performance was really good with Rice in there. So against Man United next weekend, Rice has to play there and Partey needs to come into midfield. Drop Havertz, drop Trossard, drop Kivior, back to basics, man. Back to the team that you were playing last season. That's what I think Arsenal should do. But look, it's even neither here nor there. Let's see what Arsenal do, man. Let's see what Arteta does. But I'm going to start to round up the stream now, guys. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. Arsenal have drawn 2-2 to Fulham and drop points. We get 7 points out of 9 in our first 3 Premier League games. We go next week at home to play Manchester United, a massive match that we have to win. Hopefully, we win that football match. But I'm disappointed in the manner in which the game happened. Obviously, we conceded the stupid goal early. Then, obviously, Fulham scored. We scored 2 to get back into the game. But then, down to 10 men, we could not round out the victory. We had to concede once more to Palinha. And Fulham escaped the Emirates with a point. I want to appreciate everyone that tuned into the stream today. If you are brand new and you want to keep up with Arsenal videos daily, reactions after every single Arsenal game, live streams, please make sure you subscribe down below my road to 5,000 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And also make sure you hit the bell notification button so you never miss a future video on this channel. Drop a like down below so the stream gets out to more people. And if you're watching this, now that it's stopped becoming a stream, it is now a video on this channel. Make sure you let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you are just joining right now, scroll right back to the stream so you can hear all about my thoughts on the game. I've been Wifey. I appreciate you guys all for tuning into the stream today and I hope to catch you all in my next one. Take care.